Hello. Girl Guides Australia is the national guiding organisation in Australia. Its mission is to empower girls and young women to grow into confident, self-respecting members of the community. Membership is open to all girls and young women from all cultures, faiths and traditions. Chantelle Parsons is the director of Carry On Guides, better known as COG.
Yes.
That's really unusual. These acronyms are difficult, Chantelle.
Oh, well, it's simple for us. It's a breakdown, obviously, for our title.
I suppose it is, because if you say Carry On Guides, yes, you waste so much time.
Yes.
But let's not waste time. Let's find out about you, because you've been involved with the guides since you were...
7.
Is that a brownie?
Yes. We now do it in age groups, but yes, when I first started, I joined as brownie.
And what took you to guides in the first place?
My father was involved in Scouts,
Right.
and obviously is fully aware of how that program was, and found the local guide unit when I became of age. And obviously I did lots of
7.
extra, of 7, yes, but I have lots of extra curriculum activities. I was doing swimming and netball and things like that, so I had to give up 1 to join Girl Guides, and I have not stopped since.
And that sort of took over?
Yes, 100% has taken over, yes.
Okay, so the lovely thing about being in guides, I suppose, is the fact that it still exists, because I actually didn't realise it still existed.
It sure does. Obviously, COVID had a little bit of effect on numbers, but yeah, it definitely...
How did you manage during that? Did you still continue to meet?
Well, we used the lovely program Zoom, and we met regularly. We still kept our contact with our ladies. Within an 8-week turnaround, we actually was ready for auditioning, and then COVID hit. And
this is for the show?
Yeah, for the show. And then we actually had to come up with a program within 8 weeks that we could do on Zoom. And we came up with...
To rehearse on Zoom?
Yeah. And we gave...
Really difficult.
And we gave challenges out to the ladies to film stuff at home. And then we had a team of about 4 crew that did a post-production and did a 45-minute sort of show, and it was actually an amazing...
You did the whole thing on Zoom?
Yeah, we did the whole thing on Zoom.
So you didn't go to a theatre to perform?
No, unfortunately we couldn't.
Okay, no, I completely understand. We all went through that.
That's
so we all understand.
But we still wanted to ensure that Carry On Guides existed through Zoom or through the year, and it definitely gave us another aspect of the use of technology and things like that, and has given us some great knowledge on how we can improve our show, and we can also run through any challenges as well.
So, well, let's talk about you though.
Yes.
What did you enjoy as a 7-year-old the most?
As a 7-year-old?
Do you remember?
I think it was just the weekly meetings and catching up with girls. There was no judgment. It was just an amazing experience. And then I think the leaders and the volunteers really influence, obviously, what you experience through guiding, and I just had amazing leaders all the way through my
Isn't that
experience.
The most important thing, though? And you're handing that on now to the new generation.
I hope so. I hope I'm doing a good job, but yes.
No, but really that's what it is, isn't it? Once you've experienced something like that, you know what it did for you.
Yes.
And you have children too, don't you?
I have a son, and he's just about to be invested in Joey's on Wednesday. He's about to start.
So is that the beginning?
Yes, the very beginning through Scouts. So yes, he doesn't get a choice. He's going to experience what I've experienced, but it's just going to be an amazing journey for him. Well,
we're going to talk to a couple of the younger girls that are in the show shortly, but before we do, just run through. Okay, I have a daughter and I'd like her to be part of this. What can I expect? What happens?
These ladies need to be involved in guiding already. So you have to be an active member of Girl Guides.
Children.
Yeah, children. Okay. Yeah, so they have to be a member of the guide.
For the show.
For the show,
I mean to be a Girl Guide, to be a brownie.
To be a brownie. Well, I guess the expectation is for them lovely ladies is a commitment. Like, it is definitely teaching them that they're committing to something every week, and then I guess the skills that I have learnt throughout my guiding or first 7 is like uniform, like their dress sense and things like that.
Well, that's a nifty uniform.
Yes, it is, yes. But, you know, their sashes, they've got badges to work towards.
So there's goals to make.
Yep, 100%.
But physically, what do? Do you go out catching tadpoles? Do you make macrame?
All sorts of stuff. So we obviously have our craft aspect, and then we've got our camp cooking, knots, a community service. So whether it could be going out to nursing homes and helping out there, or
is that just like visiting nursing homes?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It all depends what sort of guide leader they've got and what
Right.
program they're providing, and then
what nursing homes are in your area.
and then we're just an extra curriculum from that guides program that we offer for Carry On Guides, and they can experience the theatre.
So for camp cooking, what do you learn in camp cooking?
How to start a fire to begin with. We learn the basics, and we just then have to, if you want to get the badge, you've got to do a 3-course meal.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you have to start with damper and baked beans.
No, so the girls actually come up with their
actual menu.
Yep, they come up with their menu, because you will get obviously challenged and qualified to get your camp cooking badge. So they have to come up with their menu and ensure that their ingredients and stuff and.
So everything is ready to go.
Yep.
And then
they do the cook.
What about things like swimming and bushwalking and those sorts of things? Are those things still involved?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, obviously the swimming, we go to our local swimming centres, and we have to obviously ensure we've got the lifeguards and all those kind of qualification people there. We still do our bushwalking and tracking and things like that, but yeah, it really is up to the leader on what they're providing throughout.
So how would you sum that up? If you're really selling the concept of guides to somebody who's a bit iffy about will I or won't I, what would you say is the life-changing things that girls will get from this?
I would say it will be self-confidence, self-worth, leadership, and it is such a sisterhood and friendship. Like, you have got lifelong friends throughout.
Right.
Yeah. And we're well wide as well.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
But how many chapters are there, say, is chapters the right word?
Age ranges, yeah.
No. How many clubs are there?
Oh, that one, that would be a challenging question, because obviously there's all different units all throughout.
South Australia?
Oh, yeah.
And Victoria?
Yes, we're Australia-wide.
So it's something that anybody, you watching this program, if you had young children or girls that you felt could use that sort of input. I mean, some people go to dancing lessons, take up violin.
Correct.
All the other things that people do. But this seems to incorporate a lot of different aspects of learning.
Yeah. Like, it's a vast, anything that the ladies want to do. When we start getting to the older age group, then they come up with their own programs.
Right. And what's an older age group?
So I wanted to say about from the 11 to 14, they
so
can
you
start
with
developing.
Brownies.
So we'll start from 5 to about 7, and that's one age group. Then 7 to...
What do you call them in the next age group?
It's just done in age groups. So then there'd be like the 7 to 10, 11 to 14.
But then you're a girl guide.
Yeah, you're just a girl guide.
Anymore.
No, we're just all girl guides.
Do brownies have different clothes to wear?
We do have different colour uniforms,
Are they brown?
No.
Where did all that come from?
It's obviously from the scouting side of things. So Lord Baden-Powden came up with scouting, and his wife has come up with the guiding side of things.
Right.
And so we had different colours for the different units, and then we've just gone to a national side of state-based.
That's very smart.
Well, this one's our uniform for Carry On Guide, so we're separate.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we have a separate uniform to our basic guide uniform.
Things. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
Apart from anything else, when you've got that many girls, because you've got how many in the show?
So this year we've got 63.
Yes.
With
that many, you need to identify, they're in the show or they're not. If they're not in costume.
Yes, so the cast are in blue and red, and then the crew are in black and red, because obviously behind the scenes.
Okay, now we've got a little short, sped up film of what coming to the rehearsals and then finally getting on stage actually entails.
Yes.
So let's have a look at that, because it's quick and it's quite funny watching everybody. This is the very short version, as it says on the screen. and there it is. They're rehearsing every weekend. Is that hard to get so many people together in one place at one time? That's in the theatre, obviously. And you've got an orchestra, I see.
Yes, we have a live orchestra. Yes.
And a lot of costumes.
100%, yes.
And sketches.
Yes, so we write our own sketches.
Okay.
Yes.
And I guess anybody that has children loves to see them on stage, so audiences wouldn't be difficult to find?
Not at all, yeah. And we actually have quite a few of our parents come and see the show numerous amount of times.
Yes, that I can understand.
Yes.
So do you have expectation of the girls, like obviously you audition, do you?
Yes, so we do our audition process, and that's not necessarily, it's just to see where we can use their talent. So where there's no judgment on what level they can sing and things like that, but just for a casting point of view.
Well, if you can dance, you can be in a dance routine.
Correct, yes.
If you've got a great sense of humour, you can probably be in a sketch.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we'll be back in just a short time, and we're going to meet two of the girls who are actually in the show.
They are.
So just join us in a tick. And welcome back to Our Time. Chantelle Parsons, who is the production director for COG, is our special guest now, along with Brooke and Matilda. Or Brooke and Matilda.
Yes.
Brooke.
Yes.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Tell us about your adventure with doing the shows. How did it start for you?
Well, for me it started because I moved to South Australia a couple of years ago, and I started at a new unit. And at this unit, the entire unit was doing this show called Carry On Guides.
Oh, right.
Like, almost our entire unit was part of the show.
You'd never done anything like that before?
I'd only done like school drama shows.
Oh, okay.
But I was sort of interested in seeing like what it actually could be. So I decided to go and audition, and then I sort of just instantly fell in love with doing it.
How old were you then?
I was 14 when I started the show.
I know it's not polite to ask somebody how old they are.
19 now.
Oh, see, I didn't ask. Wasn't that a clever way to put it? Now, and you're still involved with guides. Do you feel that you're going to end up the same as Chantelle?
Yes. I don't see myself leaving.
Got your job in mind.
I think so. I think we do class Brooke as maybe the next producer. Yes.
Well, if you're not training the next person...
Yeah, so I do have a team of 20 on my production team that come up with the concept. So, and they age from 13 up.
But that's not only coming up with the concept, that's actually making the show happen.
100%. They do the choreography, write the sketches. We've got some really talented people that look after the singing. That actually happens to be one of Matilda's mum actually is on my team and looks after the singing side of things.
Right.
Yes.
So Matilda, what's your story? How did you get into guides?
Well, my sister was in COG, and then I sort of watched her perform, and I really wanted to do it, and so I joined.
Just so you could do that? Mm. What about all the other things that are offering? Or is your main focus on just doing the shows each year?
My main focus is to sort of have fun,
sure.
and just hang out with my friends and family, sort of have a connection.
Well, that's great actually. So where do you think you're going to go with this?
I think I'm going to keep on going with it. I'm not going to be production. I don't really want to do that.
No, just take over managing the theatre, then you can tell them what to do.
That's it. Yes.
Now, here in South Australia, you're performing at the Shedley Theatre, aren't you?
Yes, correct, yes.
So, both of you, if you're talking to friends, how would you explain the experience for you of being part of this organisation?
Well...
Oh, and sorry, before you answer that, and how old were you when you started?
I started Guides when I would have been 9 years old when I started Guides. And I started interstate, so then I moved to different states, and then when I came here, I then started doing Carry On Guides.
They kept throwing you out of each state, did they?
I kept on moving because I move around a lot, but the good thing about Guides is that it's nationwide, so I can do it wherever I move.
Yes, that's brilliant, isn't it? And for you?
I started when I was around 5. again, my sister was doing guides, and I sort of dragged my mum along with me as well. So, yeah, I remember walking into the guide hall and just seeing all these amazing girls around me, just having fun all day.
So when did you start this new production? Because it's not on until...
August.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so when did you start rehearsing and auditioning and so on? Did you have to audition?
Yes.
So everybody has to audition every year?
Every single person has to audition every single year.
You've been doing it for 500 years?
Well, we have to see if you've gained more skills. So, like, sometimes when you start, you might not be confident, and then you might just grow as you keep on doing the shows, so then you can improve.
Even as the director, I auditioned this year because I might be making some cameos on stage, so I even auditioned as well. So everyone has to audition if they want to be on stage.
And as you explained before, this is just to find out what your particular skill is that you can bring to the show. We've got some photos of, are they rehearsals or last year's shows?
It's a bit of a mixture. Yes, we've got...
So we've got thousands of them. So let's have a look. Because it really does tell the picture as to, you know, what happens when this happens for you.
Definitely.
And here we go. You all look like you're coming to the end of a song.
Yeah, so that's our finale uniform.
Okay. You don't call them costumes, they're still uniforms?
Well, that one's a uniform.
That's a sketch, I gather?
Yeah, actually one of our main scenes.
Right.
Yes.
So is there a storyline that runs through the show? Or?
Yeah, we do have a storyline. So this year's storyline is called Thank You for the Music.
Yep. Well, and there's so many more shots that we can have a look at as well, which we will. So as this show is coming together, oh no, here's some more.
So that's the cast and the crew.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people.
Yes, and then Brooke, we also have awards. So Brooke got the Josie Allery Award, which is the producer or the cast award. She got voted by the cast for being an utmost girl guide.
I can see there the orchestra pit is open, so you've got a live band in the pit.
That's my seconder, so for music and production director as well. Right. That you can see. And then we used, this was last year, so we actually used a version of our Zoom meetings that we had, because unfortunately we had camp and a quarter of us came down with COVID, so we had to have a meeting via Zoom. So we did use part of it.
Isn't it amazing how, you know, COVID affected everybody?
Correct.
Well, it's nice and bright and colourful. Looks like everybody's organised. And
yes, and we'd love to give our young ones a chance on the microphone as well.
Mm-hmm. To sing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. This is a curious costume.
Yes, so we have a son, Vicky over being a son, and then we have got Zoe, was she the wind or rain?
I believe she was the rain.
Rain, yes.
And she looked like an ocean wave there for a second. And I'm gathering this is set on a tropical island somewhere. Yes, so
last year's show was based on going through a Spotify list. So this is us dancing to Kokomo.
Oh, rightio. Well, there's quite a
dancing.
difference in age group there, I can see as well.
100%, yes.
So it really is a real community production.
Yes.
What do you feel everyone gets out of it at the end of the day?
I guess...
or for you, producing it to start with?
For me, I produce it due to the fact that I had such a great experience all those years ago. Mm-hmm. So this will be my 28th year in the show, and I've been producing it for 8 years. And I loved it because someone organised or was running it then, and I'm giving it 100%. And there's so many. I've had so many role models and throughout it, and I just hope that I'm a role model to these young ladies.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, to these young ladies, and to continue it with it being our 50th year.
You call everybody ladies rather than girls.
Yes.
Is there a reason behind that?
Well, because I guess from the young age that we are working with from 7, they're learning a stagecraft, and they've got to take responsibility for their own costumes, their own movements, and their own actions 100%. Yes. So we're working with young ladies, and well, I call everyone young because I wish I was still 21. So young ladies,
You mean you're not 21?
Yeah.
Oh dear. But same thing for you. What does it mean for you? What do you feel you get out of this in the long run?
Well, I sort of just enjoy being able to have the experience and go on stage, sing songs with my friends, and also...
So do you see yourself as a singer more than anything else?
I would see myself as a dancer because I'm actually a choreographer for the show.
Oh, great.
Because as Chantelle said before, she's got like a 20-person production team. I'm on her production team, so I help to do some of the dancing for the show.
Right. Do you have a dance background? Is that what you were able to bring, or is it just something you have a flair for?
Sort of just was able to just do it.
Okay.
I sort of just got asked one rehearsal, hey, would you like to choreograph a number for us? And I was like, sure. And then just kept going with it.
Oh, good on you. And what do you feel at the end of the day you get out of it? When you go home after the show, what do you feel?
I feel like I'm improving my singing, dancing and acting skills. I think I'm also using those sort of skills that I built up because of COG to put into my school musicals and stuff, and to also do other things as well. I think I also get to have long-lasting friendships as well. And
it's because you're meeting people like yourself. I think it's like meeting your tribe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you feel, has that been for you? Is
Yeah,
that what it's
100%.
felt like?
Yeah, and it's family. We are family. So I've got some goddaughters that I've met through guiding.
I thought you were going to burst into "We Are Family." No?
We have done that song, yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah, we have.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
So what can people expect this year in the show?
Oh, so this year is amazing. So it's 50 years that we're celebrating. So we are the all-girl gang show in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's definitely something to celebrate.
You're the only
One that we haven't found one yet. So we are the only girl guide gang show in the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, just hold that thought and we'll be back in a moment just to find out the last little bit about this show coming up in August here in South Australia. Our guests on Our Time this week have been Chantelle Parsons, Brooke Cocker and Matilda Coventry. How lovely to have met you all. And I might say just how lovely it is to be able to talk to you and for you to absolutely love what you're talking about, if that makes sense. Because not everybody can really have that joy that we've talked about. Now, it's something interesting, and you mentioned it before, and I did pick up on it, but I didn't pick up on it in the way that I now understand. So this show that you're going to do, you're the only group in the Southern Hemisphere that is purely a girl guide group.
Correct.
That does performances.
Yes.
But like in Melbourne, for example, they still have shows, but they're not the same.
Yeah, so we do have another 3 shows in this state. There is Comedy Capers, Gang Show, Scout Shouts and Adelaide Gang Show, and they are scouts and guides. So we do have quite a few. We do share our cast quite a bit, yes, as well, and the same crew. Our lovely volunteers obviously share and help out in those shows as well.
This is just an all-girl show.
This is all girls, yes.
Yeah, okay. I love it. So, how often you rehearse every week, but how long do you rehearse for each week, and how do you rehearse? How many? 65 people?
63.
63.
Yes.
People.
So we rehearse at the Dame Roma Mitchell Centre at Golden Grove, and that is such a lovely space that we have, and it does have a stage that we can practice on and a lovely floor space.
Yep.
I come up with the schedule of the rehearsal. Yes, fun times. Yes, and so some of our rehearsals are about 8-hour rehearsal, or some of our rehearsals can be 3 hours.
Right.
And then we do have a camp at Woodhouse, and that's a 2 nights sort of.
And do you stay up all night talking, girls?
No,
we get sent promptly to bed.
We do.
At what time? 1:30 in the morning? 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, all different ages obviously have different bedtimes.
Okay.
But we all have to be up bright and early for more rehearsing the next morning, so we can't stay up too late.
So do you love the discipline? I've caught them out on something. Do you love the discipline?
I mean, we've got some really lovely cast coordinators who help to work with all the cast, and we usually don't have any issues at all because everyone's really nice, welcoming and friendly. So normally it sort of just feels like you're hanging out with a bunch of people you love.
But I do have a strict schedule that we have to follow down to the minute.
Of course, because otherwise you won't get there on time with
Correct.
the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, it's been absolutely lovely to meet you, and good luck with the show. It's coming up when?
August, I would like to say, I want to say the 23rd. 23rd of August. We have our performance on a Wednesday evening.
Yep.
And then Thursday, Friday, and 2 on Saturday.
Yeah, so it's quite a big thing.
Yes. Yep.
You really get a chance, 4 performances.
Yes.
Yeah. It's quite a big thing.
Yes.
So congratulations on doing it. Thanks for coming in and talking about it, because I didn't know anything about the guides.
Well, you'll need to come to it.
And now I do.
Yes.
I just might do that. Thank you very much, girls, and thank you for watching Our Time this week. So until next time on Our Time, see you then.